10-minute stock trader takes calculated risks, understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data, doesn't guess at trading, follows their plan, doesn't blame others, takes responsibility, and knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart. A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. They spread joy to others, they follow their dreams, they build each other up, they use money as a tool, and they spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. Welcome to the 10-Minute Trading Room, where we take the guesswork out of trading. Good morning, traders. Happy Friday to you. Happy April 21st, the year of our Lord 2023. I hope you are having a great start to your day. I know it's early, but that's part of the game, right? Got to get up early, got to get ready to rock and roll, and I am so excited that you're here today. Yvonne, or I believe it's Yvonne, I'm trying my best here. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Donna, good morning. I know it's early over there on the West Coast. Good morning, good to see you. All right, I'm not going to delay too long. I have so much to do today. It's absolutely just a cram-packed day for me. My older son has transitioned out of Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts, and we're going on our first camp out with the Boy Scout troop this afternoon, so I have to get all of that ready. And then next week, my younger son, who's still in the Cub Scouts, I have to go camping again with him. So the next 14 days, I'm only going to sleep in my bed about 10 of them, 9 of them, which I'm not very happy about. But you know what? Glad I can take care of my children like that. Thank you so much for coming today. I am ready to take care of you. And if you're ready, let me know. So we are going to be covering today how to effortlessly get the right mindset for trading so you can avoid the common problems that destroy most trading accounts. And let me tell you this. Trading can be very simple. The idea of trading on its own is simple, right? You're just buying and selling. You're clicking the buy button, clicking the sell button. We're not digging ditches here. But there's a mindset that has to go into it, right? Because money is charged with energy, right? They always talk about that, at least what I can think of, right? I remember hearing it in church and stuff, right? Money is charged with energy. And when you play with money, it doesn't feel the same as playing with cards, does it? No, I mean, if you're playing Uno or if you're playing poker, they have a couple different connotations there, right? One of them you're playing with money and the other you're just playing with cards. But we're going to be covering a lot today, and a lot of this is actually coming out of one of my absolute favorite top recommended trading books ever. It's called Trading in the Zone. Go on Amazon and grab yourself a copy. And I mean, like, I ruin this book every time I read it. I think I've read it 6 times now. Every time I read it, it is just filled with notes, filled with tabs, just page after page of just ruining it. My green screen is kind of messing up the tabs there, but let me see. Oh, it's hard to tell, but like almost every page has something on it that I have taken away from it and I have learned from. So when I tell you like this is one of the top trading books you must get, I'm not joking. So if you haven't already, go buy this. It'll be the best 15, 20 bucks you've ever spent on trading. And April is here. April is our customer service manager and basically runs the business at this point. April, thank you so much for coming. And Rudes is here. Rudes is our podcast manager. And Rudes, she is so talented. Rudes, thank you both for coming as well. And let's begin to get started here. Let me click on this and then click over here. And now, a word from our legal disclaimer. Basically, what this says here is that I am just a random guy on the internet. Don't listen to anything that I say. And if you do so at your own risk. That's always fun, but I gotta put it out there. So let me know in the chat that you're here. Let me know where you're from. I'd love to know where you are from and where you're listening at today. I know we have customers literally all over the world, which is so cool to think about. That we are helping people from. I think we're on every continent except Africa now. But let me know that you're here in the chat and where you're from. And let me tell you a couple things about what a 10-minute stock trader is. But in fact, don't let me tell you. Let's let a couple of our celebrity endorsements tell you.
A 10-minute stock trader takes calculated risk. A 10-minute stock trader understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data. A 10-minute stock trader doesn't guess at trading. A 10-minute stock trader follows their plan.
A 10-minute stock trader doesn't blame others. A 10-minute stock trader takes responsibility. A 10-minute stock trader knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart.
A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. A 10-minute stock trader spreads joy to others. A 10-minute stock trader follows their dreams. A 10-minute stock trader builds each other up.
A 10-minute stock trader uses money as a tool. A 10-minute stock trader spends as little time trading and as much time living as possible.
Oh, don't take it from me. Take it from those celebrity endorsements there. Of course, those are deep faked, but I think it's fun to do. They have no affiliation with us whatsoever, but I just think it's funny. In fact, seeing Elon on there reminded me, I just ordered my first Tesla the other day. After the first price drop a couple weeks ago, I was pretty happy, so I was like, oh, let's go ahead and order it now. I've been waiting too long. And since then, it's dropped another few $1,000s since I ordered it. So Chris is not complaining. Chris is going to get a less expensive car. It'll happen sometime in the next 10 days or so, which I finally have one of those. So thank you so much for coming. And this is exactly what a 10-minute stock trader is. We're all about spending as little time trading and as much time living as possible. And in fact, over the last couple of weeks, we have really been just completely out of the market, holding cash, strategically holding cash, because the market has been drifting sideways. And as you know, with any trade, you need a trend. It doesn't matter what kind of trader you are, you need it to move from A to B. And if nothing's happening, don't be trading. That's the easiest way to blow up your account. So on today's plan, the agenda today is, the first section is the 4 focus areas every successful trader has mastered. And these are so much more easier than you think. So much more easier. I did that. Yeah, so much easier than you think. The number one reason traders blow up, and I can assure you, this is critical to your success. And lastly, why two traders in the same trade can have dramatically different results. So if that sounds good to you, smash the like button, type yes in the chat. And of course, as we go along, ask questions, right? Ask questions, take notes, get a pen and paper. I always have pen and paper with me. I'm always learning something. But please ask questions as you go. I'm not going to be able to see if you raise your hand, so do me a favor and ask those questions. Yvonne is here from Atlanta. Awesome. Glad you made it. But Yvonne, this is a private training for members of the 10-Minute Trading Room, and it will come down on Monday. So after Monday, this is not going to be available anymore. So there is a component of time here that you need to be aware of, right? So watch this as many times as you need to before it comes down. Now, the cost of admission today is hitting the share button. All right, so grab a pen and paper and take notes, because like I say, this is a private training for the members of the 10-Minute Trading Room. They're going to have access to this forever, and you need to take your notes today while you can. But I'm going to be giving you $5,488 worth of trading education for free. More on that in a little bit. My 10-minute stock traders know all about that. But promise me that you're not going to use these powers for evil, right? When you see how to trade in 10 minutes a day, when you become a hashtag 10-minute stock trader like us, it's going to change your life. Now, disclaimer, again, I'm going to show you the processes, but I can't guarantee you're going to be profitable. And anybody that does guarantee you're going to be profitable is a scammer. Let's just put that out there. So, one of my favorite people that I learned to trade indirectly from is Richard Dennis. And he says, you could always publish the rules in a newspaper and nobody would follow them, right? I could give you exactly the rules, but you're not going to follow them most likely, unless you're smart and taking notes and actually implementing it. The key is consistency and discipline. And consistency and discipline is exactly what you're going to need to be successful. And in fact, the world-class traders that I've learned from all have this one thing in common. They have rules, and they follow those rules with consistency and discipline, just like Richard Dennis says. And that's what you're going to need to be successful. All right, now I'm going to give you some of the rules today. And listen, rules are boring. I know this, but rules make money. It's just math. But I need you to promise me one more thing, is that when I give you these rules, you'll have the consistency and discipline to follow them, right? Because when you follow these rules, you're going to be trading like the greats, the legends that I learned to trade from, like my mentor, my friend, 2021 and 1997 U.S. investing champion Mark Minervini. I've been drawing a lot on Mark's words of wisdom lately because he talks about sit-out power. And you've got to have that in a market like this. Larry Hite, the first billion-dollar hedge fund manager, I got to learn directly from him. Market wizard Tom Basso, Mr. Serenity. Best-selling millionaire trading author Steve Burns. I always like to tell the stories of when I was working with Steve Burns because when I started with Steve, I knew nothing. I thought I knew everything. A funny story. I thought I knew everything and blew up my account. That'll come later. But I didn't even know how to identify a trend. I remember asking Steve one day, Steve, how do I even know if the trend is up or down? He's like, Chris, dude, it's not that hard. Add a trend line. If it's above any trend line, the trend is up. If it's below any trend line, the trend is down. It's not that hard, Chris. And I was like, oh, thanks, Steve. But I also got to learn from Jack Schwager, the original market wizard, and of course, the trend following pioneer Richard Dennis, who by 29 years old had $200 million. I didn't make it by 29 years old. I haven't made $200 million yet, but I'm working on it. Now, I took their best lessons, and I created a strategy to manage portfolio in only about 10 minutes a day. And in fact, Tom Basso, he told me when I was working with him that he needed about 20 minutes a day to execute his strategy and that he needed to learn from me. And I'm like, no, sir. I am standing on the shoulders of giants here. You figured out how this is done. I'm just following in your footsteps. Now, my goal with this web class is to show you two things. The only way for you to be a successful trader in this market is through 10-minute trading. And the only way to do 10-minute trading is with the strategies that we use every single day, some of the rules you're going to be given today, and what we do every single day together inside the 10-minute trading room. So who am I? My name is Christopher Ewell. Here are some of the places that you may have seen me on. I'm founder or head trader, 10minutestocktrader.com. I've been awarded top 100 people in finance twice. I've been on top 10 iTunes investing podcasts. And here's some of the places I've been on TV. I mean, it's so funny. Going on TV, I remember when I first did it, I was so sweating and nervous and scared. And now it's just like this, just having a Zoom call with anybody else. But it didn't start out this way, okay? I grew up in a double-wide mobile home in rural Texas. My parents still live there. I went to a small school in Arkansas, and I don't have an Ivy League degree. I did not work on Wall Street, and I don't have a hedge fund just yet, but that is one of my life goals. And I say all that to let you know that you can do this. You can be successful in trading, but you cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market. Because once you do, the market's going to teach you some more lessons, and they're not going to be pretty. So let me repeat that once more. You cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market, because at the end of the day, trading is simple. When you follow the proven rules that we are going to talk about today, and what my mentors have shown me, and what they have trailblazed in the past. So are you ready to learn those rules? Of course you are. So type yes in the chat box, and we're going to get started here in the first section, the 4 focus areas every successful trader must master. And listen, they're so much easier than you think. I am drinking some night black coffee out of my USS Lexington mug. Spoke earlier about Boy Scouts. One of the most amazing things ever is that the USS Lexington in Corpus Christi, Texas is an aircraft carrier, a retired aircraft carrier, and it's open like it's a museum. And part of the ship, which blows my mind, is actually cornered off, contained off, closed off as a Boy Scout camp only. The only people who are allowed to be there is a Boy Scout camp. And we went camping inside the USS Lexington in February, which is one of the most amazing things ever. So here are the 4 focus areas every successful trader has mastered. And like I say, that's much easier than you think. Yvonne's ready to roll. Let's do this. Now, you've probably heard about the time I blew up my account, right? Twice. Most of the best traders in the world had a similar experience, and you may have had an experience like that as well. Well, let me tell you about the first time I blew up my account. So it was around the 2016 presidential election, and I thought I was real clever, right? Like I said earlier, this is before I started working with Steve, and I thought I was real clever because that night, Hillary was supposed to win. That was the supposed to win. And the general consensus was if Hillary wins, the market's going to go up. If Trump wins, the market's going to crash. That was the consensus at the time. Remember, we didn't know anything at that point. I remember on election night, I had just loaded up my account. Like literally every dollar I had, I put into this strategy right here, which is called a call ratio back spread. You're buying 2 calls, you're selling 1 call for every 2 calls that you sell. What? No, did I say that? You're buying 2 calls for every 1 call you sell. Yeah. So if the market goes down, I'd make some money. if the market went up, I'd make potentially a lot more money. Now, if you remember on that election night, and I'm never going to forget it because I'd never seen this before, the market was limit down. The market was showing Trump was looking to win. The market, the Dow Jones futures, I remember, were lock limit 800 points down. And I went to bed thinking, I'll make some money. Not as much as I wanted, but that's all right. The next morning, the market was up just a little bit. And then it continued to go up basically for the next 4 years. The problem here was that I had my trades set to expire that Friday, and that was Tuesday night of election night. By Wednesday morning, the stock had moved to about right here. By Thursday afternoon, the stock had moved to about right here. By Friday, the stock had moved to about right here, and we're talking on the market here. So while I didn't lose everything, I lost so much. I mean, we're talking 2/3 of my account evaporated within 3 days because I had the right idea, but I completely botched the execution of it. The right idea, horrible execution. But at that time, I thought I knew everything about trading, right? But one thing I hadn't mastered was pride. I thought I knew everything, and because I had so much pride, I thought I could control what was going to happen, right? Up or down, I'm going to make money. Doesn't matter, right? But the thing is that we can't control the markets. The markets went in my direction, but I butchered the trade. We can't control the markets. We can only control ourselves. And what I failed to do was respect risk. We have to respect risk. We have to have conviction. Like, we have to have this positive mindset that, hey, this is what I anticipate the stock to do. Either go the other way, or maybe hit a resistance point, or maybe follow on the trend. Whatever that is, you determine your own conviction. But when you're in that trade, you have to quickly admit when you're wrong. I heard this phrase, and I embody this to the fullest, and I encourage everyone who's a trader to do this as well. Have strong beliefs that are weakly held. I think I spelled that wrong. Strong beliefs, weakly held. What does that mean, right? I believe that the market is going to do this. I believe the market's going to go up. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to drop that theory as fast as possible. Because if I'm wrong, I'm not going to let it turn against me. I'm just going to get out. Have you ever just come off the back of a winning trade and it felt like everything you did, everything you touch makes money? You're not alone. That's actually really common to have that feeling, right? And in fact, Ryan Pierpont, great guy, he placed third place in the U.S. Investing Championship for 2 years in a row and had a 1,500% return during that time. He let his early successes be clouded by euphoria. Now, we're coming right out of Trading in the Zone here, so like I say, pick this up if you haven't got a copy already. And he would say, like, there's no need for a stop loss because everything I touch turns to gold because I'm living in euphoria, right? There's no need for a trading plan. Everything I buy goes up. Everything I sell goes down. I am awesome, and I'm also full of that euphoria. And I'm going to put 100% of my account at risk because why not? I always make money, right? I'm clouded by euphoria. I can't lose. I got all this euphoria around me. But of course, we all know what happens next. It's not euphoria. It's bankruptcy. You must have conviction in the trade, but when you're wrong, you have to quickly admit when you're wrong. Now, Kavan, he's one of our trading room members. He told me this one time that he had lost on a trade, and his first thought was, I gotta make my money back, no matter what. Right? And maybe you've had that thought, right? Maybe you've fallen into revenge trading. That's very common. Trading at all odds just to make sure that no matter what, you didn't make or you didn't lose your money, you got it back. It's hard. But so, we have to accept the outcomes, right? The way I describe it is you have to be rigid in the plan and flexible in the outcome, which is an exact quote out of Trading in the Zone, and one of that I live by. Rigid in the plan, meaning I know where I'm going to get in. I know why I'm going to get in. I know where I'm going to add to my winner. I know how I'm going to double, triple, quadruple the trade. But I also know that where I'm going to get out. If I'm wrong, or if the market just stops trending. I know this. But I'm flexible in the outcome Because while I know how much I can lose, I honestly don't know how much I can win. So I'm rigid in the plan, knowing I'm going to get in, and when the stock does this, I'm going to get out. But it could do this at $10, or it could do this at $50. So I have to be flexible in where that out point is. But I know where I'm going to get out if I'm wrong. This is why you make your plan before trading. And as our 10-minute traders can attest to, we don't enter a trade unless it perfectly aligns with our plan. And we don't exit a trade unless it perfectly aligns in our plan. And when you do, you're emotionless. I don't care what happens because I have a plan, no matter what, of what I'm going to do. You must have conviction in the trade, but quickly admit when you're wrong. And the hardest lesson of all really seems so simple. Now, let me tell you a story. I was on a business trip one time, and I had no plan. I just wanted action. I had not learned sit-out power. And I got into the Uber, and I was on my iPad, because that's how I traded at the time. Got on my iPad, making these trades as I'm driving to wherever the place was, somewhere in New Mexico. And I hadn't learned sit-out power, right? I just craved the action. I had money in my account. I had nothing to do. So bam, bam, bam. Let's put on some trades. And Mark says, when you evolve to the point of always being patient and only taking quality trades, that means you've decided that you're not in it for the action, but to make money. You're not in it for action. You're here to make money. You have sit-out power. You never force trades. You're a pro. Now let that sink in, right? You're a pro when you sit out. You're a pro when you only take the quality trades that you've been waiting for. You're a pro when you're in it for the money and not for the action. Now, I saw this. This was a while ago, of course. This is like peak COVID right there, March 30th. What are you doing in between while you're waiting for the quality trades? Waiting. Exactly. There's no point in rushing a trade. But we crave that action. Like I said earlier, money's emotionally charged. But I bring this up so often that I'm sure the 10-minute stock traders are really sick of it. Wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. And of his 6 key trading rules, that's number 1. But we crave that action because it's emotionally charged, right? We want to do something. Remember, while you do nothing, less experienced, lesser disciplined, and less skilled investors lay the groundwork for your success. They'll build the basis and we buy the breakouts when they happen. But in the meantime, don't do anything. Jim Rogers, he was one of the market wizards, says one of the best rules anybody can learn about investing is to do nothing. Did you come on this web class today thinking I'd be telling you to not trade? Probably not. But here we are. Now, why do we do that? Because we're waiting for the opportunities to come to us. Don't force the trades. One of the best rules about investing is to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless there's something to do. I wait until there's money lying in the corner, and all I have to do is go over there and pick it up. I wait for the situation that is like the proverbial shooting fish in a barrel. I live by this. When there's nothing to do, strategically hold cash. So here's the 4 focus areas that every successful trader has mastered, right? And it's so much easier than you think. But how easy was that? That feels like it was a little bit difficult, but here's the 3 words you need to remember. Write this down. You need to have these 3 words. The unbreakable trading plan. It took me a long time and a lot of money to figure out that these 3 words will keep you out of a lot of trouble and put you in a lot of great situations. Have an unbreakable trading plan. And you have to be rigid in the plan, yet flexible in the outcome. So here's the key takeaway. Successful trading is rules-based. End of the day, you're just following your own rules, just like a computer program. But you have to follow those rules with consistency and discipline. And rules are boring, okay? But rules make money, because it's just math. That's the secret weapon to trading. Does that make sense? Are you getting this? Of course, let me know if you have questions, because we're going to jump into the next section here. All right, so here's the next section. The number one reason traders blow up an account, and I can assure you this is critical to your success. Every day, there really are infinite opportunities. Honestly, if you look at it, you could look at a 1-minute chart, a 10-second chart, you could look at a 10-minute chart, you could look at a daily chart. There are infinite opportunities, right? We are blessed by the market gods. But once we get into a trade, it's like we only see what we want to see. Does that sound familiar, right? You get into a trade and the plan is to buy low and sell high, right? But of course, the second that you got in, maybe you had some of these thoughts. Let's just go through these real quick. So like here, great opportunity. I thought I was going to miss this rocket. Thank God that I get another chance to buy at half price. Here's a great spot to double up. The bottom's in, it's turning up, right? And of course you can't see the future. Now I don't understand. My research says this is undervalued. It should explode. F this is nuts. It's just shaking out all the paper hands, right? I got diamond hands. What the F? This is ridiculous. How much lower can it go? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you've had some of those same emotions, right? You start up here. What is this, like 45? At around 11? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. The crazy thing is, it's not just the amateurs who go through those emotions. I think Kathy Woods has had several of those as well. Now, if you weren't in the trade, would you have had those same emotions? No, of course not. It would have been obvious, right? If you weren't in this trade as it's going down, you would have looked at this objectively and said, no, I'm not going to buy that. It looks like it's going down. It would have been obvious. And that's the thing, is that you've got to stay objective. Yvonne knows too many times, right? You have to stay objective, but you lose that objectivity when you're in the trade. It's just the way humans operate. But there's 3 things that you got to think about here, right? First is offense. That's your proven and tested trading edge. Number 2 is defense. Offense meaning, hey, I'm ready to get in that trade. 2 is defense, meaning, hey, maybe it's time to get out of that trade. And that's your exit points and your position size. And 3 is the balance between the two, right? Being able to mentally follow the plan. Because when you have your offense and you know your proven edge and you know when to get in, and you have your defense knowing when you're going to get out, either with a win or with a loss, you've got to be able to balance the two. And when you do, that's when you're trading in the zone. That's when you get that carefree state of mind. That's when you say, I don't care what happens because I'm emotionless because I'm just following my plan. But unfortunately, not many traders do that. And that's why they blow up their accounts. Because they never get to a carefree state of mind. You've got to know that anything can happen, right? When you walk into a trade, anything can happen. And you got to accept the fact that you could have an absolute perfect setup, and I've had this 100 times, 1,000 times. I've had a perfect setup, and it's still a losing trade. And that's normal. Hard to believe. You could have the perfect setup in the world, but unfortunately, we can't see the future yet. Yet it's still a losing trade, and it's normal. The difference in what I do and what most people do, the difference between a pro trader and everybody else, the difference between the best and the rest, is that they understand it's normal and they get out with as small of a loss as possible, whereas the rest hold and hope and pray that it comes back. And you don't need to know what's going to happen next. I remember when I first got into trading, even before I got into trading, when I was just interested in trading, I thought, how do you trade if you don't know what's going to happen next, right? It's not a game of prediction. It's not about saying, it's at 10 today, I predict tomorrow it'll be at 11. No, not really. It's about following the trend. If the trend is moving up, you put it on, you give it some room to breathe, and if it turns around, you get out. But you can't get in while it's trending down and say, oh, it's going to go up here. Because it's probably just going to keep going down and take you along with it. It's about following the trend with consistency and discipline and being rigid in that plan, yet flexible in the outcome. And then here's the other thing. is that trading is not linear. There are a random distribution of wins, a random distribution of losses. What does that mean? Out of 1,000 trades, if you have a 50% win rate, that means half of the trades you're going to win. But over those 1,000 trades, you may win 100 in a row, lose 30. You may win another 100 in a row, lose 20. So in your first 250 trades, you've won 200 of them and lost 50. So our random distribution comes to the fact that in those first 250 trades, the next 250 may all be losers. That's the random distribution. You still have a 50% win rate, but it comes not sequentially, right? It comes unlinearly. I know that's not a word. But trading is not linear. It's not like you deposit it into your bank account and they pay you 2% interest and you just know every year you're going to have $2 more on every 100 you invest. It's not like that. It's a random distribution of wins and losses. And backtesting can prove this, right? Any trade can be a winner or a loser. Each trade is completely independent of the one before it. So if you put on a trade today and it was a loser, and you put on a trade tomorrow and it was a loser, and you put on a trade the next day and it was a loser, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just a loser. It could be that fourth trade that makes all those gains back and more, because each trade does not care about the trade before. I mean, honestly, let's think about it here. Just take a step back, right? Do you really think that the trade you put on in 10 minutes has any bearing from the trade you put on yesterday? No. Why would it? It's a completely different market 10 minutes from now. But you have to have an edge, a statistical edge of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And the way you do that is by backtesting. Every moment in the market is completely unique, right? Like I said, 10 minutes from now is different than 10 minutes ago. Different buyers and different sellers at all times. And there's no guarantee that you're going to win, and there's no guarantee that you're going to lose. And that's why it's hard for smart people, quote smart people, doctors, lawyers, etc. They have a really hard time with this concept because in their minds, 1 + 1 = 2, right? I put on a trade, I expect to win. I put on a trade, I expect to win. I put on a trade, I expect to win. That's not how it works. Sometimes 1 + 1 = 20. Yeah. But if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes 1 + 1 = -20. No. 1 + 1 in my mind, if it ever went negative, would have been a -1. But a positive 20? That can totally happen. Anything can happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen next. There's going to be random distributions of wins and losses, and we can't control when they happen. An edge that you've got to have is a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And you got to remember that every moment in the market is unique. Every moment in the market is unique, and that is why you need to be flexible in the outcome, yet rigid in your plan. So here's the key takeaway. You've got to develop a carefree state of mind. I know when I put this trade on, anything can literally happen. But I also know I will be rigid in my plan and flexible in the outcome so that I still remain in control of this trade. I know where I'm going to get in, I know where I'm going to get out, and I know how much size I'm going to have. And when you can contain those three things, you'll be rigid in the plan, yet flexible in the outcome. And while I hope every trade is a winner, we can't control that. And that's why we have to bake failure into the trading process. Does that make sense? Are you getting this? And of course, as we go, let me know if you have questions, because I can't see when you raise your hand. Now, the last section here is why two traders who have the same trade can have dramatically different results. There are only 4 possible outcomes in a trade. Steve Burns taught me this, and I remember the first time he taught me this, I was like, are you sure about that, Steve? But the more I've traded, the more I completely get it. Let me show you what I mean. The 4 possible outcomes are a big win, a small win, a break even, or a small loss. That's it. If you want to be successful as a trader, you're going to have to be okay with being wrong. But you know what you don't see on here? Is a big loss. You've got to be okay with being wrong. And you've also got to feel a little uncomfortable when you have open profits. Because too many times people get into a trade, they see it go up, and they're like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. But then it goes on to double and triple, things like that. You got to be okay with that. And I know where your exit points are. GameStop, right? Let's talk about that. Do you think everybody who got into GameStop was profitable? Abso-freaking-lutely not. What do you think the chances are that everybody who bought it was a winner? Yeah, no. There were plenty of people who bought it at the top. That's how prices work. People buy it all the way up, and people still bought it at the top. But you still could have bought it at the top and been profitable, or at least had a tiny loser, a small loser, if you recognized how much risk you were taking and said, okay, I'm going to give it $5 a share, or $1 a share, or whatever. Think about NFTs. Think about NFTs. Do you think everybody who bought NFTs was a winner? Are you kidding me? Do you remember that mania last year? I was talking to Rudes one day about it, and I was like, Rudes, we got to start making some NFTs. And she's like, why? I was like, because everybody's buying them. So let's make some for people to buy. And she's like, I don't get it. It's just a picture. And I said, I don't know why. I understand it's just a picture, but people are buying it like crazy. We need to sell some of these. And she's like, are you sure about this? And I'm like, look, I don't get it either, but we're going to do it. But do you think everybody who bought that was a winner? What stopped us from doing it actually were the gas fees, because it was like $75 just to mint it. And I'm like, $75 just to mint each one? This is crazy talk. And of course, the interest in NFTs completely plummeted. It's probably at 0 now. This is the best I could find. What about Dogecoin? Or any of the other meme coins, right? Do you think everybody who bought that was a winner? Of course not. But you have to have the offense, which is the proven edge. Defense, that's your exit points and your position size. And you have to balance the two. And that's how two people can have the same trade and yet experience dramatically different results. Is being able to balance them, right? Because Giovan's asking, how do you find your stop price? That's a great question. The way that I do it is it's math-based, right? I use ATR, and I back in to say, okay, I'm only going to risk up to 2% of my account. How much does it have to move for me to get out at 2% of my account? Let's use round numbers here. Let's say my account is $100 and the stock is $100, and so I buy one share of stock. If it goes down $2, then I get out. Right? That's 2% of my account right there. One share, one stock. It goes down $2, I'm out. I keep 98% of my account. But if it goes up, just keep it until it reaches whatever exit point you've determined. And I like moving averages or things like that. And part of the key there, Yvonne, is being able to balance and mentally follow the plan for when that happens. Most people who lost in these examples likely didn't even have a plan, right? And why should they? They knew it was going up, right? They knew they were going to get their Lambos. They knew it was going to the moon. But as we say, rules are boring, but rules make money. You've got to have the rules in place, because if you don't, anything can happen, and you have no idea what to do. So here's the key takeaway. Be rigid in your plan and flexible in the outcome. How many times have I said that today? Right? How many times have I said that today? You need to have strong beliefs that are weakly held. Meaning, I know what I'm going to do, but if it doesn't work out, I also know what I'm going to do. I have my unbreakable trading plan. Does that make sense? Are you getting this? Of course, as we go, let me know if you have any more questions. But I have a question for you. Do you think you can do this? Type yes in the chat box, right? Because I know you can do this, right? It's all in the mental game of trading. So we covered the 4 focus area every trader has mastered, successful traders mastered, the number 1 reason traders blow up their account, and why 2 traders can make the same trade and have dramatically different results. Because trading is simple once you know how to play by the rules. Now, let me show you a video here of one of our traders. His name is Kavan. I did with Kavan. I'm giving away free consultations for members of the trading room, and I just want you to hear exactly what Kavan says.
I'm watching these stocks today, and it's like I have Peloton and Fastly, and I'm looking at them and they're following the back test as planned. And I'm telling my friend Rob, and I'm like, yo, I'm happy. And he's like, why? I'm like, I finally found something, a setup that I can use. I can go in there. I don't need anybody. I can go in there and I can make the trade my own. I can follow your steps A to Z, and I can plan my trade. As you said, 10 minutes a day, no hassle, no headaches, ain't got to stress. And he's like, for real? So no, I have him taking the previous course that I took because it laid a foundation for me. And I'm like, if you understand what these guys are teaching, then hop on over to Chris, because these guys are going to lay a foundation with the little fundamentals, like, like the basics. And then when you transition over to Chris, then you will start understanding a little bit more. So, you put in the roof on now. They build the foundation. I did my little thing. You put in the roof. I'm eventually going to learn how to put some furniture in the house. As you can see, it's empty. So that's the goal, man. And I'm loving every minute of it. And the way you teach, it's simplified. And I ain't got to sit there and draw no trend lines. I ain't got to look for no breakout candlesticks. Like, which candle is this at the end of the day? Is it a doji candle? And I'm like, I'll never learn to read candlesticks pattern. Like,
you probably know candlesticks better than I do at this point. I literally don't know anything about them.
I'm online on Amazon looking for a good, candlestick, book to learn to read candles. I'm like, I'm not learning none of this stuff. I'm just going to pay attention to what Chris is doing. I put the lines on there, and dude, I take screenshots of them and I look at them every day, because yesterday I was showing everybody. Like, I call all the guys, because I have all the guys that come in the group is guys from my work. You got Josh, Daniel, Chris, and Rob. They happen on the live when I invite them over and they love it. I got everybody, asking questions. Daniel is on there asking a lot of questions. He actually went and got TrendSpider. So slowly by slowly, everybody's coming to the table and want to learn, because step by step is no stress.
Do you want to take this to the next level? Right? Type yes in the chat box if you're ready to take this to the next level, because I want to do something awesome for you today. Let me ask you a question. Would you like my help in implementing this in your trading? That's where the 10-minute trading room comes in. This will allow you to finally live the life you have always dreamed being a trader would be. We have daily live video calls, daily trade alerts, daily new trade setups, daily portfolio updates, daily market analysis, daily trading psychology, which is so important. And everything we trade together. So it's like getting a call from me personally every trading day, with what we're trading and why we're trading it, which is really the most important part. Every trading day. Plus, you can get rid of all the fake gurus that you're still following on Twitter. I know I was really guilty of that. Spending hours searching on YouTube for the next YOLO stock, scrolling on Twitter. Everything we trade together. So as a member, you get everything. You get the daily video calls for free. Your membership includes the daily video calls for free, the daily trade setups, the portfolio updates, market analysis, trading psychology, all that's included for free. And then every other Friday, just like you're doing right now, we do live training and Q&A sessions, just like the one that you're watching right now. And we'll be building new courses together with your questions and your answers. That's so important to me. And these courses, like I said earlier on today, will be available for members only. You get to watch me personally showing you all the lessons that we use in these courses in our trading. And you can ask me questions as you need, right? You get it all. He's showing you what's working today, and it's like an up-to-the-minute field report sent from the front lines of the cutting edge of trading, and then showing you how to model it in your trading fast. And the only way to have access like this would be if I were to sit in the same room with you and you were looking shoulder to shoulder or looking over my shoulder with me every single day. Now, here's what a few of our members have said, right? Robert's saying, your trainings and advice have accelerated my learning 10x. This allowed me to start doing things that were sometimes unthinkable. Listening to Chris is well worth your time, even if you're a seasoned investor. So who's this for? Well, it's for new traders. It's for experienced traders. It's for busy professionals, some side hustlers. Like I know I've got a couple of my 10-minute stock traders in there who are side hustlers, and then parents who just want to trade while their kids nap. And if you've never traded before, don't worry. Is it okay if I over deliver? As a member, you're going to get everything. You're going to get the live training video calls, and you're going to get the live training every other week with me. And what else do you need to be successful? How about my flagship course, the AI stock trading system? And in this, we go step by step on how to use artificial intelligence in your trading. And also, I'll throw in the Real Trades case study course and the bullish, bearish, and neutral option strategy courses. So you'll be all set up there. And you're going to get all of that for free. As a member, you get everything included. That's the daily video calls, the live training and Q&A calls, and the full catalog of our best-selling courses. Okay? Well, what else would you need to be successful? We have video courses, we have our private chat room, and you're going to be part of a small group of high performers that are across the world that share valuable information that the rest of the planet never discovers. You're going to get the latest cutting-edge trading tactics and strategies before anyone else knows about them, exactly like we talked about today, including the live video trade alerts, the live market analysis, the live portfolio analysis, the live trade setups, the live trading psychology. All of that is included, and the live training and Q&A calls, the live look over your shoulder trading setups, live trading courses built with your questions and your answers. All of this is included as a member. You get all of this. Plus, I'm offering this now as a member. You're going to get at least one free one-on-one consultation like what we showed in Kavan's video. And this is coming from me. Who am I? Here's a little bit about me, right? I went straight to the pioneers of successful trading. I learned directly from world-famous market wizards and billionaire portfolio managers. And last year, the first year of implementing our strategy, we had a staggering 172.41% return on the first year of execution. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you. Right, you're going to get all of this, including the private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value $5,488. Right now, if all this did was finally set you up to see how real traders are profitable, do you think that'd be worth it? If all this did was help you shortcut the Wall Street learning curve, which hurts so bad, skip all those costly mistakes that most traders make and take years to figure out, would it be worth that? If all this did was give you the ability to model our trades and cut out the garbage that you see on the internet, you know what I'm talking about, would it be worth that? So I had two choices. The first option was to go as cheap as possible to try and help, everybody out there. But the thing is that there are lots of freebie seeking knuckleheads, the guys on Wall Street bets, right, that really shouldn't be trading anyways. But the second option, which we went with, is the little higher investment in yourself, in the program. And in exchange, you get my time and my attention, and you're going to get you set up to get the success that you've always wanted. What would that one perfect trade be worth to you? Do you think that if you develop the trades like I did, you get the same results that I did? For the right person, this membership should pay you, clearly. If you're like most people, you would tell me you'd probably pay for years of membership with just the proceeds of one single trade. I know a couple of people have already done that. You'd probably tell me that everything else after that would just be gravy. And that's why I'm sending you our total trading system every month, right? I want to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. And I take a lot of pride in helping our members win big and avoid the big losers too. And that's why this is worth $5,488, because you're here today. You're now officially a 10-minute stock trader. I'm going to give you a monster discount. Of course, I wouldn't ask you to pay $5,488. The monthly cost of being part of the 10-minute trading room is only $147. That's it. That's like $4 a day if you think about it that way. You're going to get the daily live video calls with me. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls. You're going to get the full catalog of our best-selling courses, and you're going to get a private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value, $5,488. And the monthly cost, like I said, it's only $147. You can boil it down to $4 a day. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. You've got two choices, really. The first option is you do nothing and not take this leap of faith and continue to struggle, continue to search on YouTube, continue to search on Twitter, continue to listen to those fake gurus, the first option really is nothing changes. Or the second option, you invest in yourself. The second option is you learn how the market really works. The second option, you give yourself a shot. See if this works for you. Like I said, there's no contract. You can cancel at any time. But don't you think it'd be worth 147 to show me how we set up every single trade, every entry point, and every exit point, and like Kavan said earlier, step by step with no stress? Do you think it'd be worth 147 for you to come spend an entire month right here sitting next to me, looking over my shoulder on every trade we make? Well, that's pretty much what it's going to be exactly like. I'm going to walk you through every entry, every exit, and why we do everything. Personally showing you what's working and what's not. The daily trade alerts are meant to give you that exact same experience. And here's something else to consider. Do you think it'd be worth 147 to jump online with me twice a month to get all of your trading questions answered, right? If you have any questions, you just let me know. I got you. I'm here for you. I do this for you. That's what we do in the live training and Q&A calls. Plus, you can see your fellow members every day, and you can ask them what's working for them, right? And any of those scenarios sound like it might be useful to you, then this is clearly a no-brainer. You can still keep all the courses for free no matter what. You're going to get the daily trade alerts. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls, the full catalog for our best-selling courses, and best really of all is to get you set up for success, the private one-on-one consultation with me. The work we do together can change everything. You know that. This can change your life. This is the wealth ripple effect that we're talking about. You'll be able to take our trade ideas and plug them into your account effortlessly because I show you exactly step by step. You connect with me and your fellow members on our live video calls every day. Help you get the guidance and the focus that you need. So take this offer or become a member today. Remember, you're under no obligation. You can cancel at any time, and you can still keep all the gifts for free. And here's a couple other bonuses I want to tell you about. Here's 3 fast action bonuses if you sign up today. I wrote the Secret Investing book, and I want to send you an autographed copy in the mail, plus the audiobook. I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide to our 10 Minutes to Freedom trading strategy, which we use every single day. And finally, our top stock list, which I update this every single day. So every day that you get this is exactly what we are doing in the trading room. So let me show you how to sign up real quick. Just go to 10minutetradingroom.com. Click this big blue button right here that says, click here to take the guesswork out of trading right now. Then you're going to go to the next page, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions like your name, address, and everything. Put in your credit card number to get started. Make sure that you put in your t-shirt size because I want to send you a hashtag 10-minute stock trader because you're going to be officially one of us, officially a 10-minute stock trader. So if you have any questions at all whatsoever, feel free to reach out to our team. We would love to help you out, love to get you set up, and love to get you as part of the 10-minute trading room. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I hope that this was very enlightening, very useful, and I can't wait to see you inside the 10-minute trading room with us every single day, and in fact, later on today as we make our trades. Thank you so much. Hope to see you there. All right. Thank you all so much for coming today. I really appreciate your time and attention. I hope you had taken lots of notes, and I will see you all later inside the 10-minute trading room today. Have a great Friday, and we'll talk soon.